Hello and welcome to episode number 5 of the Pomcast, and considering 5 isn't a particularly funny number, I don't have a joke to go with it. My name's Jarrod.
And I'm David.
Who is not only suffering lag in Rocket League, but also in speaking. And this week, we're mixing things up just a little bit.
I'm fine and fit and fab and firm and able.
Okay. Not quite mixing it up that much.
Today's podcast is brought to you by some random music I haven't finished yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's always going to be music at the start of these things, and David does write a few bits and bobs on the computer, I suppose.
So. Bits and pieces.
What about bits and bobs? What's wrong with bobs?
It's a weird name. Bob.
Is it because it's short for Robert?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit odd.
Bob.
Odd Bob.
But
anyway, to get back onto point, it has been pointed out to me, not only this past couple of weeks, but also pretty much the entirety of my life, that I talk a lot and I write a lot. And I have a habit that some people have of drawing anything out and making a simple task or a simple statement or a simple sentence a very, very long affair, as I just did then. It's a skill that I have, and I've been perfecting for a long time.
You bastard.
I love words, but I surprisingly don't really like the sound of my own voice that much. But I'm sure that people would argue with that.
Yeah, I hate your
anyway.
Voice too. It's really bad. Help me.
Well, to give you a bit of an opportunity to, I suppose, speak this week instead of just interjecting babble.
But that's my job. That's my life. It's other people telling you something and then me going, okay, or just telling them they're wrong, or making a joke.
Whilst that isn't necessarily a bad thing, this week we're going to mix it up by having a little bit of a question and answer session.
Making it spicy.
Yeah, so we're going to ask one another some questions, and hopefully they're not too boring, I suppose.
Oh, don't worry, they will be.
So, I'm going to get David to kick it off.
Oh no. I haven't got my shoes on.
We'll go...
I'll hurt my toes.
So, you ask a question, then I'll ask a question.
Like a back and forth.
Like a back and forth.
Nearly a conversation.
Nearly a conversation. But not.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Go on.
Do you want the first question?
Sure. Hit me.
Why are you writing a book?
Why am I writing a book?
Yeah, that'll do.
That's at a speed for everybody else to understand, in case they were a little bit drunk whilst listening to this. I am writing a book, basically because I've always wanted to. As I said before, I like the English language quite a lot, and I think I have a story that, I think I have a couple of stories that may be interesting to read and to hopefully one day have published. So that's one reason why, and I find it quite calming writing. When I was through school, I always used to write little stories, and when I was in year 12, quite a substantial one that I then deleted because it was rubbish.
That's always good. I often just spend maybe 2 or 3 hours working on some music, and I just either not save it or just never do it again, go back to it, because I'm like, this isn't very good. Oh well.
No, I spent probably every lunchtime in year 12 for maybe 3 months writing this story. I got up to about 20,000 words and found it again after I'd finished exams and started university and all that sort of stuff, and read it and thought, well, this is rubbish, and just went, delete!
So, no. Shouldn't you keep that so you can read and go, oh, yeah, I'm not going to write that again.
No, God, no. I know the story. I won't forget it, but I'm not going to ever write it again, and I don't want to inflict it upon anybody, so...
What is it?
No. But yes, I'm writing a book.
The people who listen to this want to be hurt mentally.
I want to be...
I mean, that's why they're here, yeah?
I was about to say, they're already hurt mentally because they're listening to me talk, but that's fine. But yes, I'm writing a book because I like writing, and it's coming along. There will be more information about that at some point.
And that some point is right now, because my next question is sort of like a follow-on a little bit. Why would someone like want to read your book? Your book?
Okay. I suppose.
Answer however you like.
All right. Well, one big thing that I've found in the literature that I read, at least, there's a bit of a gap. I read a lot of, I suppose, situational drama. Just normal novels, normal fiction novels that are based around the lives of real people. And I find that there's quite a gap. You get young adult novels that detail the lives of people in their teens and the problems that they have, and then there's a bit of a jump and you get adults which are either sort of in their late 30s to the point where they're nearing the end of their life that people write about. But I find that there's not a huge amount of literature for those for people to read about with characters that are either in their 20s or their early 30s. So my book,
the time when you actually become an adult.
Yes, which I find quite amusing. So I've tried to come up with a story, and the other stories that I've got as well will probably center around people that age, about a series of events that the main character, who is in his late 20s, I think he's about 28, 29. I haven't quite decided on that yet. But he then has to deal with those, and they're grounded in real life. So I think people would want to read about that. Because, people my age don't want to be reading about a 40-year-old from a Herman Koch novel with a couple of kids and a drama about trashing an ATM. Like,
why not?
It's interesting, and it's nice to read, but you've got to sort of be relatable in some way, and I find that age gap is missed out.
Bloody relatable media.
That's my argument, and I'm sticking to it, and I will finish my book. So
great. I just realised I asked 2 questions in
a
row, but it was a follow-on, so
that's all right.
Suck a dick.
Well, I'll ask you 2 questions now.
Oh no, is it a follow-on though?
No, it's not a follow-on one. Fuck. All right. So, David, I know you don't have the most extensive of memories.
That is quite an... Sorry, what was I saying at the start? Understatement. Bam, brought it back around.
Yeah, you do have a memory like Swiss cheese. But I
don't understand. It's got holes in it.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean,
jokes.
It's not very...
Woo.
Yeah, but you eat cheese.
Can you let me finish and ask the
Not really.
question?
You're making funny... It's funny your question's worded. Anyway.
I'll just start again and read it as I wrote it then. I know you don't have the most extensive of memories, but what is your first important memory? Something that defines you now, that you can look back to and go.
This is going to take 7 years for me to think of. My memory's not like... Since it's about memory, I guess I'll just start talking about my memory and then something will just pop up.
Well, we hope so anyway.
So, there's no index in my brain. Not sure of other people. Well, there's no way for me to know truly because I'm myself. Great answer.
Memories can be false and manipulated and things like that, but I definitely do have I have reference points.
I don't got no index. It's all just in there somewhere, usually. But I can't go, you remember when you were thing? And I'm like, well, no. I can't search my memory for things in the past, like super in the past, like years. More than years. But short term and medium term memories, it's fine, usually. Unless someone tells me something when I'm doing something and then I just have no idea what they said. Parents do enjoy that. They're like, David, do you remember to do this? I'm like, yeah. Totally not paying attention. So the question is about an important memory.
That has shaped your...
being.
Exactly. That's a good word. Being.
Great. But that means I have to assess my current being before I can answer that question. This is impossible.
It's not impossible.
I don't know. That's what kind of mean.
Is there something you remember about a particularly influential family member or family friend or
family friend?
a teacher or...
I think it's not that long ago. It was only 2012.
Yeah,
probably
5 years ago. Yeah.
At the end of 2012. So like 4 and a bit.
Yeah.
And I think I was late for something, and then I was like, oh no, I'm late. And before that point, I always got like stressed and worried and anxious and shit about being late and stuff. And then I realized I was like, wait, that doesn't matter. Nothing I can do. Can't. What? So then I just, to put it bluntly, stopped giving a shit about stuff that, well, like the consequences that may happen. I was just like, nope, that doesn't matter. It's fine. I'll just be late. Because I am already late, so... Oh no!
You've stopped worrying about the hypothetical, which I know for a fact that I'm not the only person that envies you for your skill of doing that.
I think someone at senior, one of the not teachers, one of the just staff members, just, I don't know, I think it was just something they said. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. And from that point onward, you go. It was surprisingly not very exciting and has, I don't know. Yeah, it kind of happened. It's just like, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, great. Just an epiphany, if you will.
Great.
Sudden realization.
Well, we'll move on from your wonders of not worrying about the hypothetical.
Right.
Now,
I mean, there are times to worry about the hypothetical.
Yes, true, but
I can now just go, oh,
I should
probably worry about this.
As a general rule, you don't. So
great.
Now, your interest in creating and making things, so as we've heard at the start, and most people, I presume, we know would have heard on SoundCloud and things like that, you make music. And you've been doing a bit of art and
activities.
Yes. It's all your want to create and make for as long as I've known you has always been quite apparent, and it's been at the forefront of what you do in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, literally forever.
So,
in my mind,
what drives that interest for you? What makes you actually sit down and get that out of your head, that idea?
Don't really know what else to do. That's what I've done all my life, basically. Instead of, people have friends and they talk to them. When I was young, it was just activities. You just do activities with people. That's what it was. So I just like doing stuff instead of, I don't know.
Well, you've never been much of a gossiper.
No.
You've never liked, really, the idea of sitting around having a glass of wine or a cup of tea or something like that and bitching about, oh, look, Doris did this! In that sort of circumstance, because it's always Doris for some reason.
Yeah, Doris.
Fucking Doris.
Yes. Where's the train gone? What were we talking about? Sorry, it was totally... Doris just fucked that up. What did you do? Right, doing stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad you managed to get back on track.
Short-term memory's not that bad. You just derailed me. With Doris, it's happening again. Oh no.
All of the train references as well.
So, what was the end of that?
What drives that interest?
I don't know. I enjoy doing things. That's a bad answer. But I saw like, well, there's a part that was like, look at the cool stuff I've done. Look at it, and they'll be like, that's real good, Dave. And I'll be like, yes.
So there's
And then I'll just continue doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to stop doing something because someone said it was bad.
Yeah.
I was going to keep doing it anyway, but there is that part that I just like going, I can do things.
So
David, do you want to have a conversation about something? No, but let's go make a house out of cardboard and then get sand and mix it with paint and then rub it on it. Gives it a nice texture.
Oh.
And colour as well. Did that when I made a castle. See this shit memory? That's how
It's
the memory
coming
works.
back.
I made a lot of castles, and by a lot I mean 2. I made 2 castles at primary school, and they were very good. Had like strings set up with a drawbridge that was tied, and it was like whoop. It's made out of cereal boxes.
Oh, cool.
And shapes. A lot of the shapes boxes. They were the best. Like nice size. You can get a couple of them together. Lots of masking tape.
See, I was never a fan of doing that kind of creative stuff. I used to draw and things when I was younger, but I was never particularly good at it.
I had a book on drawing dragons.
Yeah, I had lots of drawing books, but I was appalling at it. I was better at pottery when I got into high school. Pottery was fun. Ceramics, I think, was technically the class, but
Gross.
there's still a pot. It's now become I think it's a fountain or like a water feature in a pond at home, so... Dad smashed the bottom out of it. Good job, Dad. Just the bottom of the pot is gone.
Pot.
Excellent. So there's you enjoy doing it, which is a good thing considering that you do.
Yeah, I'm not very good at answering questions.
But there's also you do like the gratification that comes with people
Everyone
going.
likes gratification.
Yeah, I know,
going,
but-
I like the thing that you made. And if someone says, David, this is shit, I'll be like, yeah, probably is. And then continue making crap.
But sometimes that simple sort of not simple, but that idea for you doesn't necessarily come across because you are quiet, because you don't necessarily talk about all things in your life. So it's a good thing to know. You do enjoy the odd compliment of, that was good. Which is, as you said, everybody does, so that should have been a given. But, it's best to know and to check.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn again?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
your
the second
turn.
question?
That was the second question. That was my second question.
Your second question. What do we got? This is super... Why are... I'll start that again. No, I'll just say, why are you making friends?
Why am I making friends?
Yeah, and what are you making them out of? No. Joke. Make them out of cardboard.
As in reference... I
Yes.
will make the assumption that you're making the reference to the people that I'm meeting here in Liverpool.
Yeah, because you don't have any. I'm not your friend. Goodbye. And he left forever.
Well, I'm in the brass band and I'm going to other activities and trying to go out and see the world and meet people because I find it quite interesting, and I like, as we've discussed, I like to talk and I like to learn new things about people, and I like to sit and people watch to a certain extent as well. And the people so far that I've met, particularly in the brass band, have been excellent. They're people that I really enjoy spending time with, and they go out and they do things, and they honestly appreciate one another's company, which I find really quite good. It's like my band back home, so it helps with a little bit of homesickness, as well as they're showing me new things that otherwise I wouldn't see. I wouldn't necessarily go out to a pub on a Sunday night that has live jazz without having been suggested or told or shown. But that's something that I've done and I'm intending on doing again. So without their influence, I wouldn't have done those things. So me meeting people is helping me have new experiences, which is the whole point that I jumped on a plane and ran away 17,000 kilometers from home. Not ran away.
Flew in an aeroplane.
A little bit of a runaway. Nice to experience different things, have a bit of a break. So, I suppose in essence, to answer the question, the simple question you gave me, I like meeting people and I like making friends. There's something to be gained from it. And I think I think I'm achieving that.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, my childhood was spent with a PlayStation, and yours with a variety of Nintendo consoles. So,
2.
what I would like to know is what engaged you so much in the lands of Hyrule and Super Mario that you still appreciate and enjoy today?
Video games. Like video games. So started off. What did I start off? I think I was playing. Can't really remember it, but I think I played at a family friend's house when I was a youngin'. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And
The SNES.
Yeah, got one of those when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 maybe. I don't know, ages ago. That came with a bunch of games: Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, which is, yep, play that. It's good. Do it. What engaged me? This fun. Something to do. I like doing things, so I don't know. I always like. That's probably where my like for fantasy came from. Zelda. Swords and stuff are cool, and you fight monsters, and it's also the music and art in that game is amazing.
Cool.
And Mario is just that. Well, it's Mario. I don't really need to give a reason why you'd enjoy that, because it's just.
It is quite entertaining. It's
Mario.
It's insanely frustrating, but it is entertaining.
So
there's a link to your childhood there as well, whilst you're still engaged. Why you are still engaged with those games. And
because I played them a lot. I mean, I didn't finish Zelda Link to the Past while I was maybe in grade 5 or 6, just because that game is particularly harder as you get through it.
The first.
And I did have to go when it got some internet.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea what to do. Help me, internet. I was like, there's this one part you have to go there, and then you get that. I'm like, great, now I can continue playing this game.
Well, my first ever game on the PlayStation, we had Micro Machines. That was I think it was one of the launch titles in Australia for the PlayStation.
Don't know what that is.
It's about little cars that that are in like normal sized rooms, I suppose, like a dining room table or something like that. But it was quite an entertaining game. But I had to go back and replay that when I was in my teens because I was rubbish at it when I was 6 years old. But anyway, move on.
Yeah.
You're next.
Oh, great. So now that you haven't lived out of home before, so what are your thoughts on living with, quote, friends, unquote?
Okay. In that circumstance, I suppose I can only really relate it to living with you, which is quite an easy thing to do.
I just sit in that chair and I do my computer things.
Yes, but also at the same time, when you cook, you're clean. You don't leave crap about the house. You're not loud. So that works out quite well. The housemate that left was not a particularly good introduction to living with other people in a share house. And the other person that lives with us is hardly ever here. So in essence, it's not really that difficult. I think you just have to set down some fairly, I'd say they're fairly rudimentary rules that should be in any household, which is clean up your shit, don't be inconsiderate, which were blatantly ignored by the evicted housemate. But for you, me, and Sam when he is here, those rules are followed, so it's fine.
Great.
And nobody seems to be that worried that I spend part of my day practicing rather obnoxious brass instruments, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if I was living with other people that I know, I think some things would be challenged slightly in in how I would do things versus how they would do things. But at the moment, it's not an issue. It may be in the future, I don't know. But at the moment, it's fine. I was incredibly homesick at the start, but now I'm fine. So, boop. Thank you. Awesome. All right. A simple question to you. What is your most
Correct. Sorry, what?
What is your most prized possession?
Prized possession?
Yes.
What's
something you couldn't bear the thought of losing?
It'd have to be something that I can't get back. My innocence now. I don't really have a lot of things that I could lose, really. Like I think I have technology stuff, but that's all replaceable. The only thing that would be annoying to lose was any projects I'm working on. Most of them are backed up on the internet, apart from my music stuff. I wouldn't really call them possessions, though. Just kind of data that I prefer not to lose.
So there's nothing... If you had everything in a house and that house burned down, you wouldn't sort of look at it and go, oh shit, I lost that. You'd just be like, all right, great, I've got the insurance, I can go and buy all this stuff again.
Yeah, the only annoying thing I lose would be the time it would take to set up all that shit again. Which is, like, I enjoy doing it in the beginning, setting up all the stuff's kind of fun. But then once you've got it set up, then you're like, okay, this is good.
So if we're getting a bit philosophical, your most prized possession is time.
Yeah.
Great.
Fuck yeah.
Well, philosophy, it's fantastic.
Gross. I'm out of questions.
Oh, okay.
What's your favourite body part? Yours or someone else's, specifically. Doesn't...
Oh, no.
It's Natalie Dormer's eyebrow. No.
What? No.
It's Amelia Clark's eyebrows.
Alright, stop.
It's fantastic eyebrows.
Stop.
Eyebrows are good.
Okay. That's more insight than what I needed. My last question, because I actually thought of 5.
Wait, you didn't answer the question.
I'm not answering that question.
Why not?
Because it's not a question that I want to answer.
Whatever.
No.
Have some introspection.
All right. My last question. When you started Year 7 and you were shown all of those instruments to pick from, I presume you had like one of those music night things where they showed you how the instruments played and what they sounded like.
Yeah.
What exactly... What twigged in your brain when the saxophone was played and went, I want to play that? Why did you pick the saxophone?
I like the sound. Jazz is cool. Yeah.
Did they show you a jazz did they play a jazz bit of it? Who played it, actually?
No idea.
So it wasn't Cohen or...
It was probably Cohen.
Probably Cohen. Well, okay, so you'd had prior knowledge of what a saxophone sounded like and sort of already had an idea, or...
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And I was like, I like the sound of that thing, and... Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah. There's nothing more I can really say, I guess,
Alright.
about that.
So just the sound. I suppose I'm in a similar boat. I started on baritone. The baritone horn, not baritone saxophone. I always loved the sound of it, and then I got moved off it to play trombone, and then went to UFO, and then did all of the stuff in between. So, and now that I actually have one, I'm thinking to myself, why don't I just play that? But, that happens.
Cool.
Well, that I'm actually kind of surprised that was good. We actually managed to fill the half hour because the only other thing that I would have brought up was probably the funny chicken ad thing, the bird's eye ad. We'll put that in the link because that's disturbing. If we can find a copy of that on the internet,
Probably not. But
well, we found copies of the others.
yeah, but those that had Skeletor in it. So
yeah, but this is bird's eyes.
by the power of Grayskull.
Oh god. Just having a reenactment of a money supermarket ad. Excellent. Well, you asked for it. Well, you didn't ask for it. You suggested that I talk too much, and this is what you got. And I'm still talking, so bad luck.
Ha ha ha. Wait. You don't dip your sandwiches in gold before eating?
In what?
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 Who eats gold?
Who does eat gold? If you're making reference to that Hungry House ad, she dips it in sweet chili sauce and then reheats it for some reason.
Another burger.
Fuck ads in this country, they're just weird.
Yep, great, okay. Bye.
Bye.